partnership with FUJIFILM Microchannel. They've been a trusted partner of ours for many, many years. We've been working together, and they've certainly seen us through quite a few different name changes, which I'll get onto in a minute. Just to introduce myself, Sarah Kerr, as Amanda said, I've been at Infios since late last year, and have come in to run the Asia Pacific region from a growth perspective. So we've got a really exciting strategy, and we're really coming together as a new organisation. And I'm keen to take you through that today, as well as share with you some of our exciting technologies, including Edge, which we partner really closely with Microchannel on delivering for our customers. So quickly, I'll do a bit of a high-level introduction to Infios and to really how we've got to where we are today. You may know us as a different name, as mentioned. Some of our solutions at a glance, have a look at the order management piece, and then I'll end on the WMS Edge piece, and then we'll move into the demonstration from the team at Microchannel. So just wanted to show you this really, really quickly, just to touch on our journey as an organisation. And there's down the bottom of the slide there, you can see quite a lot of different logos, but essentially just wanted to bring those together just to share that over the years we've been on a journey, and we've acquired some different organisations to really come together to be the end-to-end supply chain execution organisation that we are today. We acquired a pretty significant acquisition, was the MercuryGate TMS last year, and the decision was then made to really rebrand ourselves away from just the Kerber brand. Kerber is still our parent company, but position ourselves with our own unique identity, and that's where Infios came into play. So a lot of people regularly ask us questions and still refer to our software as, as HighJump or Cohesio, and Kerber and Vista, etc. But just to, I guess, share the journey that we've been on as we evolve into the organisation that we are today. Just at a glance, some numbers from our company, and how we're tracking for those that are interested or were wondering about the scale of Infios. So globally, we've got just over 2,000 employees. We've got over 5,000 customers around the world and in 70 countries. There's some pretty significant coverage and breadth there. We're growing year on year 20%, which is exciting because that means we can continue to invest in our solutions and our customers and delivering more for our customers. Got about $1 billion revenue, and then, as I said, continue to invest in our R&D spend and continued development across supply chain execution specifically. For those that have followed along the Gartner Magic Quadrant, we're really grateful for that partnership there, but we've been recognised for the 7th year in a row in the Leaders Quadrant with Gartner, which is exciting, and we work really hard to maintain that. The Gartner metrics are based on interviews with customers, so it's that's something that we're super proud of. We've got, from a transport management perspective, even greater than that, 16 years we've been in the Gartner Magic Quadrant as well, and we're recognised as a voice of the customer as #1, which is really exciting. Overall coverage, just a couple of stats. We've got over 100 references here in the Asia Pacific region. We've got 1,500 WMS customers in this region, globally, and we've got about 60 automation sites. So we do robotics, which I'll just touch on quickly, but robotics is an element that's a bit of a differentiator and works hand in hand with our supply chain execution software. So this is just a really simple and clean graphic that I like, that just really shows the layout of the warehouse, and all of those bright yellow boxes are really the elements that we play in with our customers and how we deliver value to the market. So deep into the WMS, the warehousing solutions, labor management, inventory slotting, voice and vision for, you know, packers and pickers, people on the ground. The autonomous robots, as mentioned, the AMR component for those that want more automated warehouses. Yard management, compliance trade, direct-to-store delivery. So that's through the transport management solution, you know, proof of delivery, all sorts of great elements in the TMS there. Gamification for labour and for workers to really get things moving in the warehouse and parcel manifesting. So just at a high level, it's really the, you know, anything that goes into the warehouse and comes out of the warehouse. Most of the time, you know, our solutions would be able to help add value there and touch that inventory. Just a super high level, these are a couple of, you know, some logos, and I put in some Australian ones there of some names that you may recognise. We've got customers and I just wanted to show you this. It's not just the high-end customers. We've literally got customers at every level. So there'll be some, you know, there's be some brands there that you might recognise and some that you don't. So it's all sorts of different sizes and complexities and industries. And you know, there's a real product mix across our portfolio across those 5,000 customers around the world. Just touching quickly on the Magic Quadrant, as I mentioned. So, you know, to be really transparent, and anyone can look at this report. There's 3 of us up there in the top right space, but we really continuously work hard to continue to differentiate ourselves and you know, develop our solutions as a you know, standalone specialist supply chain execution partner for companies. All right, so just I've touched on a couple of, you know, elements of what we do, but, you know, what does it actually mean? What does it look like? You know, really what we look at is what organizations need for long-term growth in partnering with someone who invests in, you know, in their business and in their supply chain. So it's thinking about, you know, we think about how our customers work, what the decisions they need to make, and what are the fulfillment promises that they have to deliver. So it's really about that order management component, the warehouse and fulfillment, and the transportation, getting it out to customers fast. You can see here the rich functionality. I'm not going to go into all of these bullet points, but, you know, there's a lot of functionality and depth to our solutions. And working with Microchannel, that, you know, they'll be able to really help you dive into understanding how we can work together to partner with you and help support you on this journey wherever you are in your supply chain transformation stages. So one thing, you know, we hear our customers say a lot is, you know, we can't make changes quickly enough when, you know, priorities shift, or we feel like we're always behind the curve. You know, others, they say, you know, it takes too long to get IT to make adjustments. We're missing opportunities to optimize, or just, you know, our teams, and this is very common, our teams are juggling too many systems and it's slowing everything down. Often, you know, when we throw that anecdote out there, there's often customers just kind of nodding, because we know it's easy to take on new software and new solutions and try things out, but before you know it, if you know, you've got a lot of integrations to have to manage with. So really adapting the warehouse operations on the fly, you know, has become critical in today's supply chain environment. But, you know, many organizations are stuck relying on quite rigid systems and IT dependent workflows that could be, you know, designed for a slower, simpler time, not in the fast-paced world of, you know, which we're all in these days. Next one is really, you know, Infios leads the market here in both breadth and depth of our warehousing and fulfillment offerings, really trying to provide more native functionality to cover the needs of our customers and, you know, really keep it within the 4 walls of their distribution center and beyond. So, you know, we're really always looking to help our customers get a 360-degree view of their entire operation with consolidated data, give them the information that they need to balance operational priorities, and really being able to spot bottlenecks before they occur to avoid costly delays and keep operations running smoothly. Just to give you an idea, we run some of the biggest retailers in the country out of Australia. And, if something happens or there's a bottleneck or an integration or some downtime, from an upgrade that hasn't worked, as you know, it can cost a lot of, there's sometimes hundreds of people that are on the floor of a warehouse that, are working around the clock to deliver, their promise out to customers and deliver on time. So the impact is really quite significant. All right, so first thing I wanted to do was just give you a really quick snapshot before we get into detail on Edge, but a quick snapshot on the order management system. So order management is really about availability and visibility always being available at the click of your fingertips. So, from a warehousing standpoint, we continue to transform our offering, and we're really trying to invest in offerings that can help our customers serve their customers faster. I was with a very large Australian retailer last week. Their CEO shared that availability of stock is the number one priority in order to be able to fill their customers' promises quickly. They've got real-time availability available on their website. You can click and collect and go and get it in a store within just a number of hours. But if a customer shows up and it's not there, that's really problematic. And as we know, customers, there's so much competition these days, and it's a very competitive world. It's hard to gain loyalty, and it's very easy to lose loyalty. So the problem isn't just knowing about what you have in stock. It's about, as I've mentioned, redefining what available really means to each of your customers and your corresponding promises. So what we do with our order management is we streamline our the inventory view and segmentation by integrating data from on-hand inventory, inbound shipments, and manufacturing capacity. So your team will be armed with to assign inventory across customers, online channels, marketplaces, and not just being reactive to strategic positioning. And we'll be able to help prioritize your most valuable customers while you maintain fulfillment and commitments to everyone else. So the order allocation is no longer just about fulfilling requests. It's about making fast, high-stake decisions that drive business outcomes in real time. And, to this point, we just can't see delays, any more delays impacted. Orders flood in from, every direction, direct-to-consumer platforms, wholesale clients, and third-party marketplaces, and each have their own unique requirements and tight timelines. So order fulfillment priorities often clash, serving high-value customers versus fulfilling one-off bulk orders, creating real operational efficiencies. So it's about having a really clear view across all of your channels, what you've got, so that you can make really informed decisions, and let the technology as well help advise you on the decisions that you need to make to resolve these challenges and inefficiencies so you can fulfill those customer promises. And just finally, by consolidating your complex order management processes into a unified system, the Infios OMS drives that operational clarity and growth. So it helps eliminate ambiguity in your order processing, seamless manage your upstream and downstream dependencies confidently, and helps you expand into new channels and marketplaces, knowing your systems can handle the complexity without breaking stride. Finally, using the Infios OMS tools, you'll be able to re-establish complete control over your supply chain through effective warehouse, transportation, and order management strategies. So really, it's about maximising business outcomes and growth potential. So on our website, if you click into our solutions at the very top, this is just literally a snapshot of our website, our solutions, you'll see the order management. And the great thing about order management, and with all of our solutions, in fact, we're not saying, hey, you've got to buy the entire suite of products. You can just modularize it and just buy piece by piece as you need it, as you see value, and then add on as and when you need it. So that's been a really attractive way for many customers around the world to bring in an order management component to first look at, for example, inventory visibility, and then, look at perhaps it's customer care and returns, or, fulfilling stores versus fulfilling online only. So there's all sorts of different ways, and we'd love to talk to you more about that. Right, let me get on to talking about Edge. So Infios WM Edge is the new name. Actually, we've just launched our new naming since we were Kerber everything for a long time. We've now, this solution is now called Infios WM Edge as the new naming convention. But we'll just jump into this warehouse and fulfillment component of our solutions. So supply chain execution today, is under immense pressure from labour shortages, rising customer expectations, fragmented systems, and economic volatility, creating daily challenges for warehouse operators, logistics managers, and fulfillment teams. Our solutions address these pain points head on with intelligent automation, real-time visibility, and seamless orchestration across warehousing and transportation workflows. As mentioned with OMS, we've got modular capabilities designed for agility and scale, and we empower teams to move faster, reduce errors, and meet evolving customer demands. In the market overwhelmed by legacy technology and limited adaptability, we really think that we can stand out and, modernise, and our customers tell us, modernise and give them a real flexible and adaptable alternative. And that's the flexibility and adaptability is a real key differentiator that our customers tell us why they go with us over others. So at the heart, really, of why organisations look for a WMS, it's really quite simple. These are the 3 whys why customers choose a WMS like Edge. Quite simply, it's about improving throughput, getting more orders in the door, picked, packed, and shipped through the warehouse, creating more revenue. It's operational efficiency, so creating a united and more efficient supply chain by giving visibility over the whole warehouse without adding a huge IT department. And it's reducing your costs. So this is all about efficiency, eliminating inefficient processes and unnecessary steps to pick, pack, and minimize returns caused by human errors. So, in terms of what it provides, there's a little bit here, but extending on what I've talked about, there's inventory accuracy. So really, there's up to 10% saving around your accuracy management. Productivity is a really big one. So making sure, and this is in manual warehouses, making sure that productivity gains, can be as high as 25%. That's 25% more stock in and out your door, essentially, and faster. Adaptability, so continuously adapting to new market changes. We've certainly seen in the US with the introduction of tariffs. This has put supply chains around the world in a spin. And we've had lots of customers coming to us saying, well, what does this mean for us, and how can you adapt quickly? So we've been able to really help them with that. And then always scalability as organisations continue to grow their businesses and their customer base. We've got a scalable solution that really helps our customers scale as they need it. This is really the how. So what does it actually do? What does it look like? So there's the end-to-end visibility, as I've mentioned. There's the real-time adaptability, so being able to update and adapt to your business processes as and when you need. Being able to continuously optimize your system to adapt to your inbound and outbound execution, such as different peak periods that you might have, different sales, Black Friday, Christmas trading, back to school, there's all sorts of different milestone dates throughout the year that you'll have to adapt your systems and people to based on what you need. Seamless orchestration across automation, robotics, and labour resources, as mentioned, got a lot of automation customers, and we've got actionable insights. So we need data is power these days more than ever. So having the right data to be able to make the right decisions, to be able to act quickly. And as I've mentioned a couple of times, there's that modular design. So really, it's just about paying for what you need and what you don't, and being then able to grow and add on modules as and when you need them. From a business value perspective, these are the metrics, but the enhanced user experience, of course, there's almost 199.87% shipping accuracy we've seen from, as an average from customers. Absolute improved productivity per hour for pickers from another customer. Really high accuracy in business insights and analytics around inventory accuracy. And really what that means is faster time to value. So with microchannel, they can bring, an edge a WM Infios edge solution to market within 3 months. So really accelerated deployment there, which is really of really high value to organisations. Some portfolio cornerstones. So some of the capabilities that we've got. So the capabilities are broken into 3 distinct buckets: planning, execution, and fulfillment. And you can see some of those modules and elements there. And we're more than happy to share these slides, by the way. And then this is just, I guess, a bit of a view of a blueprint of how it all fits together and what some of these modules are. But you can see there the yellow in the middle of the slide there. That's the edge. It integrates seamlessly with out-of-the-box integrations across all leading ERP systems. So that's something we've got the OMS layer, as I touched on earlier, across the top, and then there's all of these other modules that you can put in and out of the stack as and when you need it and as and when your business needs it, as well as leveraging the robotics and mobile hardware as and when, if that's something that works for you. Last slide from me before we go to a demonstration is, invite you to have further discovery. So please reach out to your FUJIFILM microchannel account manager, or I've shared my email address there if you wanted to reach out directly, and we can all work together if you've got any questions. One thing that we have got on our website, it's just had a pretty major update in the last year or so, but there's a lot of great FAQs, data sheets, white papers, customer case studies. There's all sorts of things around all of our solutions, including Edge and OMS. Something else that's quite a cool tool is we've got a RFP template discovery tool for Edge. Now, even if you're not going for discovery, there's actually just a lot of information, and it's almost like a checklist that you can start to go through to have a think about some of the elements that you need to think about if you're starting to explore going down the WMS Edge path, and what are some of the questions and things that you might need to consider. So that's it for me. Thank you for the opportunity to present today and for your time. I'm now going to hand over to AJ, who's going to take you through a Warehouse Edge demonstration.
Thank you, Sarah. It was a good presentation. Let me share my screen. All right. So today, thank you for the opportunity to present this. I am presenting WMS Edge look and feel and order management capabilities in the system. WMS Edge is very powerful tool, and at the heart of it is this workspace. Workspace is a clean and consistent design that allow us to plan, manage, and execute our warehouse activities in an efficient manner. Once we log on to the workspace, it directly takes us to the home page. In my case, I have set up this KPI dashboard as my landing page. which is live feed, which has the live feeds from the warehouse activities where users and warehouse managers, supervisor can take the action in the timely and efficient manner. Let's go through the look and feel of the application. On the top, this is the header section of the application. This header section has the home button over there, which take us to home page. It has the title. It also have the online help, which allow you to learn the application at your own pace. Also, it has some other features over there, like setting up alerts, quick access to different functionality, setting up quick links, and login and log out. What you see here is the functional tab as well in the header, which allow us to perform various functions right in the screen. And these functions are based on the screen that we are in. So I have opened one of the screen, and as you have seen on the top, the functionality is changed. And from the job, I can select what I want to perform, and I can finish my task. On the left-hand side here, you can see this navigational tab. This navigational tab allows user to select the application which they want to navigate to. With Infuse, we have different applications like image to capture various images within my warehouse. Inspection module to set up my own inspections for outbound or inbound orders or my inventory. Schedule to manage my outbound or inbound schedule of trucks. Of course, Warehouse Edge handles all the functionality to complete my warehouse activity from start to finish. User can further go to the work centers. Now, work centers is a group of common activities together. So if the person is in charge of managing the picks or the sales order within my warehouse, he just needs to go to Order Work Center over here, and Order Work Center present all the functions and features that he needs to manage his picks in the warehouse. Similarly, for receiving for my inbound orders, I can go to Receipt Work Center and complete my inbound or process my inbound orders and complete my tasks. My Inventory Work Center provide me the window to analyze and navigate through my inventory within the warehouse, which gives us various options to manage my inventory within the space of my warehouse. From here, user can easily search for the functionality that they want to go to and directly access that functionality with one click. For further ease of accessibility, user can set up the favorites for quick access, and also set up a quick links here, the icons that you see on the navigational tab. And with one click, system will take them to the task that they need to perform, and they can complete those tasks, analyze the data, and complete it in a timely manner. At the center of it, this is we call Work Center. This Work Center present the information in the user-friendly manner where user can add or process their transaction. On the top, it provides the quick stats at glance. It is giving us a number of orders or work projection from where user can plan their days and weeks. This grid over here is an advanced grid where user can set up their data according to their need and requirements, and also select from more than 315 data points, the data coming from the host ERP system, and select for themselves. And good part is that they can save this feature. So they only have to save this at once. So system will present the data in a format that they understand. It has powerful filtering capabilities as well. So for example, I want to filter with a customer or any column. User can use the inbuilt filtering functionality to filter those set. User can also go to select multi-filter options where they can give multiple parameters to filter their picks, for example, and process them efficiently. Again, user can save that parameters in the system. And with one click, they can get the access to all the data that they need to process and quickly select the group of data and process them from selecting various jobs, whatever they want to do, like assigning to picker or release for picking. System also system also comes with pivot charts. And the beauty about this is that user can create their own pivot charts with a few clicks. Here, for example, I have created few pivot charts. I want to see the customer order by customer or order by priority, order by ship via. With one click, system will represent the data workload in a nice view from where I can plan my day. For example, in your warehouse, you are using two freight providers, Ozpost and FedEx. Ozpost is coming at 3 o'clock to complete to pick the parcels, whereas FedEx is coming to 5 o'clock to pick the parcels. I want to focus my resources on Ozpost first. Either I can select all my orders to be processed, or I can select the orders within the specific order status. Once I apply this filter on my work center, system will present to me those orders that needs to be processed with one click, and from here I can process those orders efficiently. As you have noted that this is very intuitive, easy to learn system where it helps and sync in with our daily operations to complete my warehouse operations. Now we have covered briefly the look and feel of the application. What we will do next is go through one of the most critical operation in my warehouse, which is sales order processing. Now, sales order processing starts with entering or receiving the order in the host ERP system. Once the order is entered in the host ERP system, which also manages or record our master data like customers, our item master, ship to locations, it sends the order to the WMS. Once the order is downloaded in WMS, order is in unallocated stage. And first task WMS does is find the inventory to fulfill that order. The allocation works on the advanced parameters like our priority of the orders, our pack sizes of the orders, our requirement of the pick zone, alert zone. On all those various parameters, system tries to find the best and right inventory to fulfill that order. Once the inventory is allocated, in the same step, it also finds if replenishment needs to be generated. And seamlessly, in the background, system generates the replenishment and send the task for the replenishment team to complete. Once the order is allocated, system creates the wave. Wave is a group of orders where inventory is allocated and system release the order for picking on the warehouse floor with the various picking team in the sequential and efficient manner. Once the order, at the time of waiving itself, system analyze the document required for fulfilling various orders on customer by customer and order by order basis. And if required, system will print those documents as well. Using various advanced picking options, user can pick and choose and select the best option to pick the order. Order can be picked by mobile interface of Warehouse Edge. Once order is picked, WMS Edge will perform will help us to set up the post-pick operations in the systematic manner, like our packaging, value-added services, and at last shipment. System can be set up to automatically send the shipment data to our freight providers via API calls. And at the same time, once the order is shipped, system also send the data to ERP system to create the respective delivery or invoice. Our mobile interface that help us to pick the order on the warehouse floor is powerful modern interface which seamlessly integrate with the advanced devices available in the market, whether it is handheld devices or voice-enabled devices or advanced AMRs. Now let's go to our lab and pick some of the orders. I'll quickly go and select some orders that I want to process on priority. You can see here on the workspace, there are orders sitting in various status. As we discussed, once order come into the system, it is in unallocated state. Once in the system allocates the inventory to the order, system change the status to ready to wave, means it is ready to release for picking. On the basis of preset conditions, system will release the order to the warehouse team and the status change to waived. At any given time, user can go and investigate further and do analysis on those orders as well. At the time when system user are picking the order, it is changed to being picked, and at the end rating as well as per our workflow, and system user can go and do post pick transition in the system before shipping the order. Once the order is waived, as we say, user can drill down into the particular order and see various details. Here on this particular order, we can see all inventory is allocated and it is waived for my warehouse pick team to complete. On this order, we have 2 lines. I have to pick 5 headphones and 7 drill bit sets. Here in the work center, it shows the allocation as well, where user needs to go to pick this order. To complete this order in this environment, I will use the simulator, handheld simulator here, which you can see on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of my screen. For example, I have a picker called Peter. He got the alert that he needs to pick this order. He will go on the handheld and start picking process. He will pick the order from his assigned work. In my case, I'm using this some barcodes over here and the scanner as my tool to simulate my warehouse environment. I will pick from my assigned work and system will generate the wave for him. In my case, it is 1 order is picked with 2 lines and a specific unit and cubes. Once start, user needs to follow the prompt on the handheld to complete the pick run. System will send him to the best pick path, depending upon the type of inventory he needs to pick. For example, he needs to pick the tin of oil first before picking the bag of flour. And the fastest location that he can pick the order. User goes to the bin selected. In this case, system has suggested him to go to A030A2 bin to pick the product number KMU02, which is my earphones first. I'll go to the bin and system also telling me how many packs that I need to pick. So on the prompt or with the prompt, system will follow the prompts and go to the best pick location. System Peter can then identify the product that he's fetching to validate and confirm the pick with a quantity of 5. One pick line is completed and system is sending him to A030A3 to pick my drill bit sets. This is again following the best pick path. User will go to that particular bin, scan the product to validate that I'm picking the right product, and confirm the pick by confirming the quantity that he is picking. At the end of the wave, at the end of the pick run, all picks that are assigned to him are completed. At the same time, system is sending the live feed to the warehouse edge interface as well. As you can see, system is changed the status of the order to rating. And also system has updated the pick quantities. At the time of picking, everything that happens with the order, who picks the order, from where the order was picked, what was the status of that particular line, which location, all quantities and the pack sizes, all details are stored in the system for later audit purposes. And with this, we have complete a quick run in the warehouse. Now, as you may have observed, 2 of the main functions that we do in the warehouse order pick processing are allocation and waiving. They are two of the most used function in the warehouse. Let's go and take a deeper dive and understand those functions, what it does in the system. Going on the job, I'm going to allocate function. In the allocate function, you can see there are various smarts inbuilt in Warehouse Edge. System consider the included path System automatically consider the included zones. Zones are the physical or logical location within my warehouses. So system consider that from where I need to pick that particular inventory depending upon the zones. For example, I have the golden zone, which are easy to access. So most of e-commerce orders are going there, whereas I have dedicated zone or bulk zone from where I want to pick my big orders for my big customers like Kohl's or Woolworth. At the same time, I also have the excluded zone. Zones like don't want to pick from my production area, or in some cases, I don't want to pick from my e-commerce order from bulk zone. So system will consider those exclusions as well and allocate the best inventory for the order. At the time of allocation, system also consider the replenishment requirement for my orders. And depending upon the requirement, if I need to replenish move the good from bulk location to pick location, system will automatically create the replenishment in the background and assign those tasks for my replenishment team to complete. My background allocation keep monitoring the replenishment in live action. And if once the replenishment is completed for the orders, those were waiting for that item to be fulfilled, system will automatically allocate those orders and release them for picking and send the notification for the picking team to start picking that order in the timely manner. Also, it does look into other smarts like my first in, first out inventory, my first expiry, first out items sitting in the warehouse, allocation based on attributes like my serials, my batch numbers, lot numbers, expiries, days to expire, and on the basis of preset conditions, system will allocate the best inventory required to fulfill those orders. System also have the tool called Fair Share, where on the basis of demand and the availability of stock, limited availability of the stock in my warehouse, instead of giving that limited stock to some of the orders, is distribute that inventory with a fair share to all the orders sitting in my system, depending upon the rules I have set up in the system. So as you can see, we have touched with a few of the options available within the system at the allocation function. There are many more options, and best part of this function is that we can automate all this logic, set up once, and system will follow those logic on customer by customer or order by order basis. Similarly, we have other function which is waived. Waived is used by system once inventory is allocated to the order. Means that WMS system knows that this order can be fulfilled. Now we can release the order for the picking on the warehouse floor. In the wave function, we have some other smarts like that system consider to move the inventory, like label requirement and paperwork requirement. System automatically analyze the paperwork requirement of the orders and print those labels or reports in the format and the quantity required automatically at the time of waiving. System also consider the pack and hold functionality, where if we have the large order where all the inventory is not in the right status to be picked right now, I can start the picking and pick and stage the order and hold it till other inventory is available. So large orders I can distribute among different teams and pick those orders in days. I do have consolidation. I do have consolidation there. And consolidation is a function where multiple order placed by a customer can be grouped together and ship it as one shipment. We have end of line function, which controls or creates a workflow for post-pick scenarios. We can set up various end of line with various requirements for repacking, packaging of goods, value-added services, gift wraps. And at the end, we can ship the order, which create the shipment in ERP, and as and if required, send the freight request to freight companies. Now we touched about the sales order processing in the system. Let's quickly look at the inventory work center as well. Inventory Work Center is a place that gives a bird eye view of my inventory and the placement of the inventory within my warehouse. As you can see, it is showing me the bin label. Bin label is a physical location within my warehouse where I place my inventory. It shows me the stock. It shows me a total quantity available within my warehouse, the pack size, whether the stock is sitting in that particular location as a pallet, as a carton, or as a unit. It also shows at the glance my total available inventory, which is my total inventory reduced by reserve inventory against the stock. So that is my unallocated quantity. From here, user can easily drill down into it as well. You can see this drill down button on the top right-hand side corner, and user can select that to drill down into the particular inventory and see my open inbound and outbound orders. User can analyze their historical data by looking at inbound and outbound orders here in closed picks and closed receipts. And also it maintains the logs. So every time any transactions, whether it is a bin move, adjustment, replenishment, pick, ship, whatever happening, system will record that transaction, and later the user's warehouse manager can do the audit on every item on every transaction. So that's summarized. In conclusion, I have completed my part of presentation, and we have completed the look and feel of the application. We have completed the quick pick process within my warehouse, and we have looked at the inventory work center as well. I will pass on to my colleague George Savaya for his part of the presentation now.
Thank you, AJ. Okay, the two areas that I'll be covering today will be the reporting and the Pulse module. The Pulse module is a BI module within WMS Edge. Now, this will enable the user to answer their general questions and also be able, has the facility to drill in to the data as well in a timely manner. As we can see, the way we can set up our our Pulse module is with our dashboards. Different dashboards can be highlighted by our teams or by our tasks. We can see here we've got our management team. They'll be able to see certain things that our warehouse team doesn't need to see. And we've also got tasks like our cycle counting and even things like our expiry dates themselves. Let's just jump into a dashboard now in our daily snapshot. And we're looking at our snapshot at the moment, and we can see this information. What we're looking at here at the moment is we've got open orders. We've got 50 of them at the moment. We've also got ready to pick 10 orders, and we've also got 3 orders that have already been shipped out. In turn as well, we've got stuff that's been done already as well. What's happened today? We've actually shipped out 2 of those orders. We've ready to pick this week, we've already picked 42 orders. And this month, we've actually picked 149 orders. In turn, this screen is showing us, well, what's our best brand that we've shipped out? It's been the Firestone brand. That Firestone brand also, we've bring down what products are the top 4 products at the moment of that Firestone side of things. So you can see at a snapshot what's happening within the month, the week, and also what our best shippers are. If we go back and say, let's look at what management would like to see. If I drill into here with our management dashboard, first thing is when I go into our clients, they always talk about, well, I really need to know delivery in full on time. What is that looking like? At the moment, we can see here, we've got a KPI and it's showing at 99%. But what does that really mean? At the moment, we're sitting at 99%, but if I look and drill into it and go, well, what did we miss out? Well, actually, we've got stock, which is good. All our orders are being fulfilled fully, but what we missed out on is on time. The required date didn't meet the ship date, and it was after the required date. Also in our KPI, we can see here, well, what's happening to our orders? I can see our orders at the moment. We've got 22 orders that have sat in the system that haven't been touched for more than 36 hours. Again, I can go back to our team and ask them, well, what's happening in this area? I can see that we've got 502 orders that are picked this week. And looking even at our utilization, right, which means that what our utilization in the warehouse at the moment is that how many spare bins that we got that we can fulfill or what we can move in. And I can see that I'm coming into a purchase order. That purchase order is going to push us into maybe 80%. I can actually receive that order, which is fine because it's not going to push us too far in. But I know now with those receipts coming in, we're going to be close to our fully utilized in the warehouse, and we'll be looking at our slotting issue maybe because we've got less space and less ability to move stock around within the warehouse. If I come back into here and I say, well, what does a warehouse really want to look at? I'll drill into our warehouse KPIs and I can see at the top, this is the status of our orders. This is what's happening with our orders at the moment. And I can see that, hey, we've got 23 held replen orders. Well, what are those replenishment orders? I can drill into that replenishment order. I can see these are the 23 orders. From there, I can actually drill down like AJ just showed. But drilling down into here, I can then execute and say, well, actually, that order, I need to get out the door. These guys really need this product. I can go and allocate that and move it on. And then from there, I can go back straight into my dashboard and then execute whatever else I need to do. Also, if we look through here with our dashboard, what's happening with our bins at the moment, right? Our empty bins. At the moment, I've got our pick bins. I've got 229 bins that are empty at the moment. What are those bins? How are those affected? I can drill into here and I go, all right, cool. I can see all the bins and what's happening with those bins. Not only drill into it, but also select all 229 bins and export that out. Give me the ability then to send that off to the team and also put it into an Excel sheet and work through that data as well. If I scroll down through this dashboard, I can see here with my receiving, what's happening at my receiving end. Well, I can see that we've got 23 items still sitting in our receipt. But out of those 23 items, all 23 have been sitting there for more than 24 hours. That's showing me that, well, I've got an issue in my receipt area because I need those stock out in the warehouse in our pick faces so I can actually ship them out. What's happening there? Again, drilling into it, I can see what purchase orders are affected. I can see the quantities that are sitting there. And I can see, again, we've got expiry dates, and I can see there's expiry dates associated with these products itself. I can, again, export out and then send that off to the team as well. One of the major tasks in a warehouse is obviously our cycle counting, right? What happens with our cycle counting? What is happening at the present time? I can see here when I drill into my cycle counting dashboard, I can see that I've got 147 products that haven't been counted in the last 3 months. You know, why? I can start talking to the team about that. But what I can also see is what work they've got at the moment and when they expect that to be done. So I've got at the moment 3 open cycle counts, and out of those 3 open cycle counts, there's 33 products that need to be counted. But also I can see what they've done this month. I can see that they have been cycle counting. These are the products, these are the bins that they're cycle counting, and also the quantities that were there. And I can see that currently all that stock has been is correct, and there hasn't been no adjustments done in that. Another good one here is our resources. If I look into here, I can see what's happening for the day. All right, I can see who's picking what and who's the best picker. Jennifer at the moment, she's doing really well. But the other KPI that I like to show our clients is this one here, pick short. Who's picking short? Why are they picking short? This here highlights a problem for me because if we're picking short, that means we're losing sales. Straight away, I can see that KPI. Now, I'd like to move on to the reporting side of things. Now, the reporting side of things is a standard SSO. The tool that we use here is the SSRS reporting, and it's a standard industry tool that is used across the board. Now, with this, I can save them in my favorites, and then from saving in my favorites, I can execute these reports here. So right now, let's have a look at our empty bin report, which shows us our space utilization side of things. Now, in this report, as you can see what bins are actually empty and what areas are most affected by that. So I've got 209 bins that are sitting in my zone A that are available, right? With our reporting tool, I can actually execute the report and filter accordingly and not having to jump in and out of the report and to get that information across. Okay, then I've got reports such as our activity report. This is a real good one, this report here. So it shows me what each person is doing, and at the moment we're looking at our picking action. But we can do this report via picking, receiving, moves, adjustments, and so forth, and even what type of adjustments they've done. All right, I can see here George at the moment, yep, he's doing all right. He's got 24 picks at the moment, but I can see he picked a little bit in the morning and then the rest of it was in the afternoon. What did he do? Because he starts at 5 o'clock, he didn't do much in here, but I know that he was actually doing the replenishments at that time. Okay, and I can see there's other users there, and I can see where we're heavy in. So we do a lot of picking between obviously 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, right? Before those trucks come in. I can see that activity is really heavy in that time. Receipts. I can see here what type of receipting has been happening, what items have been coming in, and also I can see if there's any short receipts as well. As you can see here, there's receivings that are short. This can be done at a detail level and also at a header level where we're just looking at the receipt itself. I can even see who's receiving it in at the time as well. Not only we can do reports, but we can also do forms. So depending on what form that needs to be sent out with that document, a pack slip, a delivery docket, and so forth, we can display that. And also, as AJ pointed on before, regarding end of line, that can actually be automated and printed as the order is completed. Not only we can show that what has been picked, but also what carton that product is sitting in. And we can even display the picker as well as the quantity that's been shipped out. Now, I'd like to finish off with our marquee. I'll drop down back into our warehouse, our dashboards. And from there, I'd like to show you the marquee. Marquee is a very powerful tool here. This marquee allows us to display the information on a TV, but not only is displaying it on the TV, when they actually refreshes, it refreshes to the most recent information that's in the system itself. If I've picked something, if I've adjusted something, that marquee, dashboard will actually refresh as well with it. So I'm going to pick the snapshot and I'm going to go my cycle counting at the moment. That's the two things that I want to show our warehouse. If I go and hit the start, I can turn around and say, show you my dashboards. I'm going to show it every 8 seconds. And then the refresh will actually refresh as it rotates. I hit the start button. And then as you can see here, the dashboard will jump out. It will then go and be on that screen for 8 seconds. Once that's finished, it will go through and then show me my next dashboard. I'm not limited to 2 dashboards. I can do multiple dashboards there as well.